What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Hamilton Tile Show. This is episode 5. Today is, well, no, what episode is it? It's episode 4. I'm sorry, somebody's paying attention around here.
Somebody's got to.
Yeah, it's March 23rd. We're here in Woodstock, Georgia. We're about to go to an inspection. Hope everybody's doing really well. How you doing today, Jason?
Doing good. Kind of crappy out, but feel good. Got a decent night's sleep finally. Just been having trouble sleeping lately for whatever reason. So feel a little bit refreshed and ready to go.
You got to try to take magnesium. Have you ever tried it?
No, I don't. I'm not big on taking medication.
It's not a medication. It's magnesium.
I know
it's like it's what's an Epsom salt or whatever, and it helps, dude. For whatever reason, I'm not sure why, but yeah, sleep is huge. But anyway, so I have a list of stuff that I want to go over today. Yeah. Well, I wanted to have it more structured, more than last week, so it's just like not me bitching about stupid stuff. Yeah, so the first thing I wanted to start off with was our inspection business. We're going to one today. And what most of you guys probably have been dealing with is probably the similar thing to what we were dealing with, is like people would call you about shitty tile work. You run out there and you try to be the hero. They've already had it done, so they've already paid once, probably paid way too little. You take a look at it, you're like showing your expertise, you're stretching your muscle, you're like, yeah, I'm going to book this thing. And then you send them the proposal, we get real money for what we do. And so they paid not very much the first time. Then they get the second time, it's like, oh my goodness, this is like way more. You're ghosted. Ghosted. You never hear from these people again after you just gave away hours of your time looking at their stuff, tons of your information and your knowledge, thinking you're going to save the day, and you get nothing out of it. This happens so many times. And, I know homeowners wonder why people don't want to run out and look at jobs. Well, this is one of the reasons, because it just, a lot of times you lose money. Well, not a lot of times, you lose money.
No, it's every time you lose money because your time is money.
Unless you actually book the job. So what I did in order to get around this, I don't know why I'm wearing my seatbelt. What I did to get around some of this and make this into a business is I produced a product. I made a product. It's our inspection business. So when somebody calls me, like for the example, this person, she called me and she had a backsplash done a couple years ago and a shower done like 8 years ago and tiles falling off the wall. Well, in the past, I'd be like, oh, we'll come out and look at it and blah, blah, blah. And I'd be impress her with my knowledge and all this kind of stuff and
that gets you nowhere.
$0 for it. Well, what I did is she was mentioning all this and I said, hey, listen, I have the perfect service for you. We do an inspection service where we come out and we take a look at your project. Jason writes a report that cites the national standards, ANSI standards, manufacturer standards, and plumbing code. So we're just doing facts. We're looking, and this is all visual, by the way. Generally speaking, there's at least 3 visual things that you can cite on this report. Then I make a video of Jason talking about the actual project, at the project, and the violations that were made. And I sell it to the homeowner. I say this every time. I'm like, when you're talking, they tell me about how they can't get a hold of their contractor, all this kind of stuff, or the contractor's not responsive. Well, that contractor sees you as the dumb homeowner, essentially, and they don't respect you. But then once we come involved, it's like, no, I have backup on what I believe. So my hook on it is, it's wrong and we can help, right? So this is starting at a $600 service. That we've been doing pretty recently now, where, it's 2 products. It's a report and a video report. And, we put these things together and we sell it for $600 and we'll get the job. So we've had one. So tell us about the successes that we've had, Jason.
We've done quite a few of these now. Most times we don't hear back from them. Because I don't think they take it to the court aspect, or the builders that they're dealing with are just chuckleheads and they just wait them out. They just play the typical builder game that they just wait you out. We all know that game because we hear the story many times. But this last one, we charged $600. Go and look at this shower. Shower looked pretty good, but you could tell there's a couple things wrong. But she luckily had a bunch of prep pictures, a lot of them. and I could see a whole lot of things wrong underneath. So I just cited installation instructions for everything. She sent it to the builder. The builder, I mean, I give him credit. He's seems to be one of the good ones. He's willing to put his money where his mouth is, and he's grown as a business owner, grown as a business, and they're not doing things the same as they were a year and a half, 2 years ago. They fired that tile crew, supposedly, that did the work. They no longer work with them anymore. So this report actually helped her get a new shower out of the builder. The builder's going to pay us to fix it. So, this is one of the first cases where it actually...
Second. Because Kinsey, remember that one?
Oh, yeah, second. Sorry. There was one more that this actually did help. Kind of very similar situation, but we didn't get to do the tile work. We just did the consultation.
The builder came back and built her like 3 new showers or something.
That one went okay. But this one, we're going to get paid to repair the shower. He actually wants to be on site to learn some things about shower building. So, I mean, he seems like a nice guy. Can't wait to meet him, talk to him, and actually I got to call him today or tomorrow. And, it works. It's just, the homeowners have to take it seriously and be willing to go the distance, because unfortunately a lot of people, you have to be taken to court. And we do have a couple that we've done inspections for that are in the court right now. They're going through the lawsuit phase and the, who's going to pay what and all that. So I know one of them that are in that stage, maybe 2, but I know of one. But that's a long, drawn-out stage. And honestly, I don't know if you're guaranteed to get money. I mean, I know there's ways to get money out of businesses, but I mean, it's a lot of work. It's like, how much are you willing to put into it? Now, the one that's in court right now, it's worth it to them, because this is going to be, my bid as it stands right now is at $140,000 to replace all 4 bathrooms. And it's probably going to grow from there, because we all know that you find more once you tear into it. That's just from what I could see. That's what it's going to cost. So that one, is worth it to them, obviously, to take it the distance. So hopefully they can get some money back out of these people.
Yeah, well, I mean, so the other side's lawyer contacted you for discovery and to get the report and all this. So it's a real thing.
Oh yeah, it's a real thing. They did a discovery thing, and I had to send them original copies of just what I saw wrong, and just like I said, all my stuff just cites manufacturer's installation instructions. That's how bad it is out there. People just can't follow the directions, and if they did, almost all the problems in our trade would be gone. Like a vast majority of them. It's just simple things, and it's the same ones. This is what gets me. It's the same thing every single call. Every one we go and look at, it's always the same problems. The same, about 4 to 5 problems. And they're minor things, but they end up being big things when things start to go haywire.
Yeah. And yeah, that the one that's in court right now, man, if that one goes through, man, I'm onto something at this point. Everybody's going to hear about that, because that'll be a big thing.
And we know not many people do this, because the customer that we're dealing with now, she said she tried searching and she couldn't find anybody that would even do that. I can't remember how she said she stumbled upon our service. Might have been through YouTube.
No, I sold it to her.
No, I know, but
I mentioned it. I mentioned it to her.
Maybe no, she stumbled upon us looking for that, probably because our videos with the titles we came up, and then she found out when she found us, she found out we do kind of like a service like that. So that's how it came about. But she didn't find us technically because of searching for, I guess in a way, she did kind of.
She was telling us too that 2 other companies came out before us, of course for free. And then we came out third, and she paid us $600. So, I mean, it's a thing, guys.
Yeah, when people say you can't do it, you can't do it. Is it hard to do it? Sure. Are you going to lose out on work that you probably would have booked because you're charging for your time? Oh, you betcha you're going to lose out. But, this is the reality. Like, we go to you. It's not like you're coming to us to do free estimates. If you're coming to me, I'll do free estimates all over the phone and through pictures all day long. I can look at a picture and tell you within literally 5 seconds, you're going to be between X and Y. That's a free estimate, But when you start having to go to somebody to do something, there's a hard cost involved with it. So if you don't have that baked into your overhead, which in turn your current customers pay for it, which I don't necessarily agree that's the best way, but that's how it's done a lot with real legit companies. They have a percentage of the guy that just drives around and does whatever. There's a percentage to that for their total revenue for the year, and that's paid by every single paying customer of theirs. I'd rather do it the other way, where, hey, you want me to come out? Sure. We got about 6 hours into this, it's going to be X amount of dollars. And you just figure out what you want, and that's it. I think that's a better way. Also weeds out some of the tire kickers and the people that aren't serious about it. We've done it before where we've just told people about it and they're okay with it, and we don't charge them because it's close, and we gelled well with them. It's really a good way to weed out the people that are serious or not.
Yeah, exactly. And with the tile inspection business, how I started this is we went and we did a tile inspection thing, got paid for it. I think we got paid $200 the first time.
Yeah.
Well, then I went home and I made a blog post, hitting certain keywords, explaining the whole service, pictures, videos, all the things that we do, posted the blog post, and within, 6 months or whatever it took, we started ranking, and we're top ranked organic for tile inspection, Atlanta, Georgia. I didn't pay anything for it. I just made the blog post, and every time I talk to somebody about the inspection business, I send them the blog post. It has a full description. It has an example of the videos that we make. It has an example of the report that we do. So it's a service now. It's not...
We're adding value to it. Yeah, you just show up and talk about a project with someone. The homeowner's not going to see, why am I paying for that? Because we could do that over the phone. You have to add value to whatever it is you're selling. We're giving them a piece of paper or an email that, that's value. That's a tangible product that we created. So that's why we're able to charge for it. It's not, again, like I said, I could do it over the phone for free, but that doesn't really carry the same weight with most people, Now,
$600 isn't really enough to do it, because, the report, and I make a video, that takes hours to do that, and then driving out there, it's totally not enough.
Should be $1,200, $1,500.
I think I want to get it up to $2,000 bucks, because if it's like...
I think if the ones like where they're thinking about taking the lawsuit route and stuff, like, yeah, I mean, that's really what it should be, $1,500, $2,000. But hey, at least we're getting something out of this. We're not completely spinning our wheels. And our last one, $600, turned into a $20-some thousand shower. Yeah. So I mean, you got to play the game a little bit, but we're not running out for things for free anymore. I'm sorry, I can lose money at home a lot, but easier than running out to someone's house and wasting money. So I'd rather stay at home.
Yeah. I mean, and this service is only going to grow because the more success people have with it, the more we're going to be able to get for it. You know, we're raising the price after this one, or after this woman recovers money. I'm going to make it $800 now. I mean, it's only fair. I mean, and we do a great job at what we do, and we've recovered people's money. So if you pay us $1,000 and then you recover 20,000,
it's pretty good return on investment if I'm doing my math correctly. I'm not no math or money guru, but I'm okay with money. That seems like a pretty good investment.
Yeah, exactly. So I encourage you guys to kind of do the same thing. I mean, okay, so we got to go to inspection. So you guys are going to hear the vehicle, and hopefully the camera doesn't tip over. I wonder how this is going to change the sound. I hope it doesn't.
Well, when the radio comes on.
The radio, yeah.
That's all right.
I hope it doesn't do too much to the sound. But so the inspection business is a good way to, a good service to add. You have to add the product. Yeah, you have to get on Premiere Pro or one of these editing softwares and figure out how to do that. But if you guys out there haven't used like Upwork or one of these things where you can get freelance editors and all this kind of stuff, I know you can make it worth your time. Or I know you can figure out a way.
Well, even if you don't do the video, I'll take pictures of the offending areas. Just put it on the report, and then I write a little brief description underneath the picture describing what the person's looking at and what the issue is. So even if you don't go to video route, you can at least do the pictures. We all know how to take pictures, so it's really not that difficult.
Right. And then the next thing I wanted to do was talk about this proposal questionnaire form that I put on my website that we've been having pretty good success with. So, we all have our contact form on our website, and the contact forms sometimes through the websites are a little like not very thorough, and you can't get pictures through them sometimes and all this kind of stuff. So I went to jotform.com and I made a form essentially where with all the questions that I usually ask over the phone, I made them all requirements to actually put the form through. You have to answer all the questions, one of which is
key.
Yeah,
because you need all the information, not some of it.
Yeah, which is essentially, and I have I have a multiple choice budget question that they cannot move on. They cannot move on through the process without answering what their budget is, and it's a multiple choice thing: 0 to 1,000, 1,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 25,000. It has places to insert pictures of your project. It has. I also have a thing where it's like, send me pictures of what you want it to look like or the tile you chose. I have a slot that says, what are you looking at, and what are you looking for in a contractor? And if they say somebody cheap, then I know probably that's not for us. I have you looked at us online? I have all these type of questions in there to answer. And what I've been doing is a lot of the things is over the phone. You want to cut through the BS and get to whether or not these people are serious. And I have to ask serious questions. I usually have stuff to do. I usually have 3 or 4 of these leads coming in. So I got to like move things forward. And sometimes it gets really impersonal and I have to find out the numbers, right? So last week, a couple times what I did was I said, I just had a really smooth, nice conversation where I focused 100% on building rapport. That's all I did. And then I said, okay, cool. Well, we have a proposal request form. I'm going to send you the link. And if you wouldn't mind filling it out and sending it back to me, I'll get back to you and we'll continue the conversation. Both people that I asked to do it signed the form, filled out the form, and made it really super easy and super professional. What did you think of that jot form questionnaire?
Oh, I think it's great because it's just, like I said, it cuts through the BS, which, you know, both me and Ben, we don't got time for BS. We don't have patience for it anymore. You know, it just gets the information out a little easier. People don't like answering the budget question over the phone, so you know, maybe it'll help get it out of them if it's just in a, you know, little form. Yeah, no, I think it's a good thing. We've been wanting to do it for a while. We just never got around to it. Not gonna lie, you know.
Shoot, I want to make it so eventually when people call our office, it's just like, hey, go to this website and fill out the form. You don't even get to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Initially. But I think that's kind of maybe a little stretch in this economy. But at the same time, you know, eventually.
But it also does another thing too, which I know a lot of salespeople talk about. You know, it gets them invested in you guys, because if they're calling many people, other people are just maybe a phone call and they're not really interested in them, or there's not a lot of time investment. The more time investment you can get a potential customer into your company, whether it be filling out forms, emails back and forth, writing you a check to come out and look at the job, the more they're invested into you, is the more likely that they're going to hire you. That's just how human psychology works, unfortunately. So it's a little trick not trick, but that's just how people are. You know, the more investment they have in you, they're going to be more apt to at least put you to the forefront of the hiring process.
What is that Robert Cialdini's book, Influence? He talks about reciprocation.
Mm-hmm. Tom Reber talks about that a lot.
He probably got it from Cialdini.
He talks about that a lot. Like just with charging for estimates, what that does is when they come out and they're handing check, it already primes them up for giving you money. That's a very good thing, because that means they're comfortable with giving you money, so that you're more apt to get the job because they've already given you money and they haven't given the other chuckleheads any money. So you're almost hired at that point if you don't screw up the interview.
Yeah. And I wanted to talk about the jot form thing. Like, I wouldn't have known about that, but I'm in a couple business groups. So Luke Miller has one, The Conscious Contractor. Check it out. It's really good. People are talking about business on there, throwing around ideas. I'm also in one through Ryan Tuttle with Best Handyman Boston, and this is a technology guy right here. He's brilliant with this technology stuff. He has a whole business that's set up where he doesn't even talk to anybody. If you want to do business with his handyman business in Boston, you make your own work order online. You're never talking to a person. It spits you out a price, and it seems like the way to do it. And this business group is what turned me on to all this technology stuff, where I wouldn't have known anything about JotForm. I wouldn't have known anything about it. So I really encourage people to group up with other people. And if there's a potential mastermind, I know it costs money to do these groups sometimes.
Is JotForm free? Is it a free app or not?
JotForm starts is free, but the form thing is only one section of that app. There are so many automation opportunities on there and so many different things. It'll blow your mind. Go to jotform.com and check it out.
And this is not an ad for JotForm. It's just we used it, and obviously
I support it. It looks like a great product. Yeah, but like I said, I wouldn't have known about that if I wasn't a part of this business group. And if you guys can find a business group that fits you, start one yourself, or you're just throwing ideas off of people. I mean, it's a great thing. And then, through that business group as well, I'm learning about business plans. What's a business plan? Well, it's pretty simple. You're setting out what your business is. Like if somebody's going to buy Hamilton Tile, I'm going to hand them this business plan that has how someone else who buys the company is supposed to run the business. Essentially, it has a what do they call that? A chart of all the positions in this thing. It has the vision of what you're doing. It has your customer your customer profile on it. It has your financial stuff in it. And again, I didn't know anything about what a business plan is. I'm making a business plan for another tile company, and I'm making a business plan for us so that right now, what we do, $400,000 in revenue a year or something, and what is it? When you sell a business, it's 3 times that it's actually worth. But our business isn't worth anything unless we have a business plan and we have it down on paper. So I've been working on making us a business plan so that when it's time to get rid of the business or sell the business, when we want to retire, we have that. And it's a living document as well. And this mastermind group, I wouldn't have known essentially anything about it if not for this group that I'm in. And it's better than any college education because, guys, a lot of times with me, in the past at least, I've just thrown crap at the wall and tried to see what's stuck. Yeah, I learned a lot doing that, but it took years, right? And in these groups, you're learning from people that have already done it and not wasting your time. And so, your advancements are a lot quicker than it would be if you were learning it on your own through the school of hard knocks. You're letting somebody else, have the hard knocks, and you're getting the lessons from them, which I think is invaluable. So business groups are super important. Another topic I wanted to talk about today was blogging. Jason, why do we do a blog?
Just adds credibility to what we say when we advertise who we are. I think that's the main thing. Just puts it out there that a living document. It's records of what we do and how we do it, and just adds credibility to your business. I believe is the main purpose to the blog. Right. And it's also a good resource for customers to know that we're not just blowing smoke up your butt, because so many contractors say, "Oh, this is the right way to do it. This is how we've always done it. We've never had any problems." Well, that's not reality. You have to be able to prove it. So I think the blog helps prove that.
Yeah, it's showing your work, and it's a historical record and historical documentation where I can say, yeah, I've been documenting our business for the last 10 years, right? That's more than what these mystery white vans can say they've done, or more than most contractors, right? The other thing about it is search engine optimization. I always say that your website should be your number one over Instagram, over Facebook, over everything else, because you don't own Facebook, you don't own Instagram. They can ban you at any time. They can they own all your material that you put on there. They actually own it. Google's the same way. But your blog, you own that for the most part. I mean, you can have problems with hosting sites and all this kind of stuff, but in our business, you're not going to get necessarily banned or anything in our business for saying the wrong thing or whatever. But it's a historical document, and as I said, our inspection business blog post, that ranks on Google forever now, essentially, until someone knocks us off from the top spot. But that will find us work from people that are searching on Google, which people go to find things. And it's a great thing. You're posting it up on Instagram. You're posting up anyway, hopefully. You probably write a little bit. I mean, this helps you work on your writing. And at the end of the day, we're at the point now where AI can do your writing for you. Just tell the AI, ChatGPT, what you want, and it'll fart you out a blog post about it.
I saw something about this. Is that what that stuff does?
Yeah.
Really? You just tell it,
crazy.
And it just types out something for you?
All these freelance workers, dude, are going to have a hard time with AI at this point. It's going to be tough. It's going to be good to be working with your hands like we do.
I saw a post. It was on Instagram. RGC, a local Tyler in our area that we know. He was doing something with that, and I've heard of ChatGPT or whatever you want to call it. I just didn't really, I'm not a computer guy. I mean, I know how to turn them on. That's about it.
What's Alex doing?
It was something with a customer, I believe. It was just a quick Instagram post, but I saw something and just automatically type. I'm like, I didn't really get what's going on. I guess he typing it. It wasn't very clear. But now that you're saying that's just an AI bot, it makes a lot more sense of what I was looking at. So I was like, if that's the case, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's going to change the game. But then again, all these kind of people that make a living in the knowledge economy are going to have a hard time now, because that the ChatGPT can pretty much do the writing, do the copywriting. You can type in it, make me an ad for tile work.
Like I've said for years, at some point we're going to have to pay people to stay at home. Technology is going to get to the point where we're already there, but we don't need as many people working. And a lot of people have busy work anymore. It's just going to accelerate with AI and some of the things coming through. Because if you don't need someone to type something up for you or whatever you can figure out ChatGPT to do, like all those people that used to do that. Because I know there's places in India that what's one of them?
Fiverr?
Yeah, that's I'm like, you tell someone, I want to write a novel about, or whatever, and they'll do it. I want this logo made. You put it out there for $50. Someone will make you a logo. So I mean, it's just kind of tricky.
No, there's an AI for logos. There's an AI for all sorts of different stuff. It's going to be crazy, world.
That's good for certain things, but also there's an unintended consequence to that. All those people are going to be out of a job. So it's going to be interesting to see how we deal with economies and stuff in the next 50 years or so. We're on the tail end of our life, so but like my son, he's 8 years old, so there's some things that AI probably won't replace, but there's a lot of things it will.
Well, I have hope because, at the turn of the century in the Industrial Revolution, everybody was saying the same thing.
Oh yeah, you just find different ways of doing different things to do and different ways of doing things. It's not going to be catastrophic, but it's going to be a really big change to the way we do things. That's for sure.
Yeah, but industrialization actually created more jobs and more wealth than anything, than farming or an agrarian society. But I'm sure there's smarter people out there than me that can tell me why, AI and technology in the 21st century isn't going to necessarily do it. It's going to free up a lot of time for people, and hopefully everybody's doing good things with their time, not just looking at porno and freaking whatever the heck else people do on the computer, doing drugs and whatever.
I make barbecue, but my stomach doesn't like it.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to be an all-around good thing, but
no, there's just going to have to be a paradigm. It's just a big shift in just the way we pay people, and it's coming. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it's coming. There's going to have to be some serious changes because there's just not enough jobs for people anymore. I really fully believe that. You used to be able to raise a family working as a helper at a hardware store. You can't anymore. So.
Yeah, the politics is going to have to shift too, I think, in a lot of ways, I mean.
So anyways, now we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can go into all that.
We can go into that forever.
Pretty extensively. But that's going to do it for our show this week, guys. Hopefully this sound isn't too bad. If it is, I probably won't post this one up. But we're trying to sneak these in wherever we can because one of the biggest things is staying consistent with a podcast. And I really, I don't want to be one of those podcasts that starts and then ends and gets lazy about it. So I'm going to stick with this so that we can have a good documentation of everything with the future. We're off to one of our proposals. We got our fancy clothes on. I got my Sunday go to meeting shoes on. we're going to put out a good first impression for this, not proposal, but inspection. And we'll let you guys know how it goes. This lady just had a backsplash done. The tiles falling off the wall around the range. I'm thinking mastic.
She just had it done.
Yeah,
I realized
I'm thinking, you know, construction nightmare. It'll be pretty sweet to see what's going on. I love looking at them. I get so many calls about bad tile work, guys.
Oh, it's right there.
People don't. I don't think people believe it. But if you're a homeowner out there, watch out if you're having tile work done. And I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody's profitable. I hope everybody's doing something great. We'll see you again next week or in a couple weeks with another podcast, the Hamilton Tile Show. Like, subscribe, comment, and if you're one of our supporters, we really appreciate it. Have a great day, guys.